I'm a Cardinal fan because I remember way back when the Cardinals first went into the World Series. Maybe not the first, but the first one I remember in 1926.
Do you remember the team that played then?
Oh yeah, I always recall the team. I don't remember the batting order, but I can tell you the positions they all played. First base, Sonny Jim Bottomley from Nokomis, Illinois. Second base, manager Rogers Hornsby. Tommy Thevenow, shortstop. Third base was Lester Bell. Left field, Chick Hafey. Center field, Taylor Douthit. Taylor Ballhawk Douthit. And in right field, they platooned a right-hand batter and a left-hand batter, Ray Blades and Billy Southworth. The catcher was O'Farrell. And the pitching staff featured Grover Cleveland Alexander, an older pitcher, Pop Haynes, Wee Willie Sherdell, and let's see, who was the other one? Oh, Wild Bill Hallahan and Clint Rim. There's probably some other players, but I don't remember. That's the all the players I remember.
Did you go to any other games after that?
I never saw that game. I remember listening to it on the radio. But next year, my dad started taking me to Cardinal games.
And how old were you?
How
old were you?
Well, I was 8 years old when I was listening to that World Series in 1926.
And you remember all this?
Well, I don't remember the whole game, but I just remember the outstanding thing. Grover Cleveland Alexander had pitched and won the game before. And the last game was very close. There must have been some people on base when Tony Lazzeri came up to bat. He was one of their best hitters. So they called on Grover Cleveland Alexander to come out as relief pitcher. Grover Cleveland Alexander was renowned for his heavy drinking, and he wasn't exactly in great shape with the last game, but he came out and pitched, and the highlight of that series was Grover Cleveland Alexander in his hungover state struck out Lazzeri, and the Cardinals won the series.
That's so funny.
So you asked me why I was a Cardinal fan. That was the start. And a few years later, I found out that we lived just around the block from Jerry Roy Stockton, who was the Cardinal reporter for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And he knew the kids in the neighborhood. And he always said, if you want to go to a ball game, come see me and I'll take you. So that was really the start. I saw lots and lots of Cardinal games because Mr. Stockton would take us in the press box. And after we got in, he'd have to go there early to start his story. And he'd sit us in the back row of the stadium. And just before the game started, he'd come down with front row box tickets, because big crowds in those days during the Depression were maybe 800 people went to the ball game. So we always had front row box seats for many years when Mr. Stockton took us to the game, neighborhood kids to the game. So it's hard to not be a Cardinal fan anymore.
Who do you want to win the World Series?
Cardinals!